Right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's meeting. Welcome to our new member and attendee. So, hi Daniel. Please do a little introduction to do a little introduction or do a full introduction, however you want to go about it. I'm sure we all are interested in knowing who our new member is. You have the microphone. Stage is yours.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Shukura. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a front-end developer with over 6 years of experience. Yeah, I enjoy building web and mobile application that works across all devices. I'm a new member here and I'm happy to be here.
Great. Hold on. I feel like I called you a different name. Did I call you a different name?
No, I think it's Daniel.
Oh, okay, great. Because sometimes my mouth moves faster than my brain. Okay, Daniel. Welcome. We are happy to have you. So this is the CHAOSS Africa Disability Inclusion and Accessibility Group. So we have different people in different teams, different fields. So since you're new here, it would be fine if we just go around and do an introduction as well, so you get to know us too. I am Victoria Botoria for short. I am a product designer. I think I'm niching down into UX, and I'm also an accessibility advocate and niching into being a specialist. So I am currently the co-lead. I'm leading with Brian. Brian is not here currently. I'm the co-lead and maintainer of this working group, and happy to meet you. So I'm going to be passing the mic to Hamza. Hi, Hamza.
Hi. My name is Hamza Benjaji. I'm a software developer. I'm based in Kano, Nigeria. So I, just like everybody here, I'm also an open source advocate. Anything around open source really interests me, and then I give it all my time as much as I can. Thank you. I yield the mic.
Thank you. So hi Vicky. Winifred cannot speak right now, but I think she has typed her introduction in the chat. Hi Victoria. We have another Victoria here. Hi. Oh, she left. She left. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm sure she'll be back, probably in network issues. So we are all working towards improving the accessibility of the CHAOSS community and open source in general, and tech in general, basically. So that's what we do here. We look for ways to include people with disability in any activity that we're doing, which is currently what we are trying to achieve every time we meet on Mondays. Our meetings are twice in a week, bi-weekly. So you've looked at the agenda. We don't really have much on the agenda. So if anybody has
bi-weekly. Sorry.
Bi-weekly.
Once a week. Once
in 2 weeks.
Once in 2 weeks. Okay.
Yes, every Monday, once in 2 weeks. Yeah. So we were not able to meet last 2 weeks. My bad. I was not really feeling good. So, but yeah, it's always once in 2 weeks. Victoria is back. Hi, Victoria. We have another Victoria in the team. Hi, Victoria. Please do a little introduction. I'm sure Daniel will want to know you. So I don't know if I'm the problem, but I can't hear Victoria. If you're speaking, your mic is muted. Okay. Oh, you have issues with your audio. That's fine. You can use the chat box. Okay. Connect to your phone. Cool. Okay, so once you connect with her phone, we can go over to the next thing we have on the agenda. We want to talk about the audits that we are currently handling. So there isn't much feedback from the audit so far. Because of clashing timing, we are yet to meet. But I think we are currently doing reviews individually, but we need to meet and bring our ideas together. We're yet to do that, but individually we've been doing our work, like going through the website and checking for doing some research. It was doing, at least I have been, and I think Victoria has been too, but we are yet to meet to bring our ideas together, to work together, right, and create more repositories on the issues that we have worked on together. I think that's what is pending so far. Hopefully we'll meet very soon. It's just clashing timelines. We'll look for a way to agree on a timeline before our next meeting, hopefully. But that's the feedback for the audit. Then for the research, we have made progress so far. Um, we are supposed to schedule this research for this week. We've gotten contact of people who are going to be in our first batch of user testing. Like they're going to be contributing to the user testing, like the research process. Yeah. So we've gotten contact of 3 people. So we're looking to do it in 4 batches or 3 batches, depending on our timing and the amount of people we have who are going to be interested, because we want to get feedback from different people, like the experiences of different people. So if you're going to be interested in the research, please send me a message on Slack, and we don't want to crowd it anyway, but I know I'm going to be there. The people who are the accessibility audit team will be there too, because we need to hear the experiences of users firsthand to know which errors there are and which solutions we can provide. So if you're going to be interested in joining any of the batches of the research, please send me a message on Slack, and then we can put you on a date. Right. So I think that is it for the research. So I don't know. Hi Vicky, this one the audio is bad. Have you been able to work on the report for the auditing? Have you had time to look at that?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. We can hear you. So you can start off with your
Okay.
introduction and then you can continue with
Okay. So yeah, first off, sorry for the mic issues. I don't know. Like I've just noticed that that's an issue that I have with Zoom. Like this is like the third meeting where I'm having issues with my mic on Zoom. So sorry about that. My name is Victoria Nduka. Short form is not story or Victoria. You can just call me Victoria in full to differentiate between the first story. Or Nduka. You can call me my surname, that's fine. I'm a user experience designer with a focus on accessibility. And recently, I've been exploring the cloud native space. So that's my introduction. Then regarding what you just asked me now, Toria, I have gone through, like I've tried to start the audit, but I'm having issues with reporting the results of the audit. So there are some confusions with the current reporting templates that we have. You know, when let's say we want to start with the CHAOSS homepage to do, like we want to start auditing the CHAOSS homepage. Then I run like Lighthouse or Axe on the page. It will bring out a list of issues under specific WCAG principles. So how the current template is structured is that they are finding issues, we are reporting issues under each of these WCAG principles. not based, and then you now have to tag or mention where you are finding. Let's say you have uh what's a common one? Color contrast issues. So you now have to check you now have to list all the color contrast issues that you found across all the pages on the website. Now that method is somehow difficult for me. Like it's difficult for me because maybe I may find issues on the homepage, then go back to document it and see that someone else has already worked on it. Like someone has already found that issue and worked on it. And it's just difficult for me to navigate. Like maybe I can't explain it without having to share my screen. And I'm trying to update Zoom, so it may take some time. But if I'm able to get it to work, I may share my screen to explain exactly what my issues are. And then I remember you asked also about because there's a report that I used, though I typically use when I'm doing audits that I find easier. And I'm suggesting if we can also adopt that. It's just a suggestion. So I'll share the link to that, and then maybe if you can look at it during this call, I can just drop the link and we can just look at it individually and share what we think about it.
Oh, great. I think that's a great idea. I think this could be an issue, especially for new members joining the team. You know, you need to understand the procedure that has been in use before you join in. And this is why I was proposing like a meeting, you, myself,
Okay.
and Niga. Before you
Yeah.
joined, I was talking about how we've not been able to align our timings to meet up for the meeting as it has been clashing. Do you get? So,
Yeah.
but hopefully before the end of this week, we can meet and actually understand the process, at least onboard
Yeah.
you properly. Do you get? So onboard you
Yeah, that'd
properly
be
on
great.
the procedure, yeah, that we are using. And also you would also like fill us in on your own method using the report so that we can merge the both of them together and the work will be
Exactly.
easier. Yeah. So hopefully before the end of the week we'll definitely meet. You, myself, and Yiga. I've been planning to maybe, but we've been able to I've been able to speak to Yiga, so we would settle on a time that is going to be accommodating. We're supposed to meet this weekend, but I guess activities, yeah. So hopefully this week we'll be able to have an open schedule where we can meet,
Okay.
because this is actually very important here, so we can move
Yeah.
forward. If we are not able to get um more audits, we will not be able to create repositories for people to work on. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. Great. So I added something to our agenda. So we are planning on having an activity as a team for CHAOSS. Maybe a speaking engagement, maybe a workshop, or maybe a panel session rather. So what do we think? Because I feel like since we are also going to be inviting people with disabilities to this event, because we have carried out an outreach program, we are going to be including them in research. So the whole point is for them to be part of our community. So of course they are going to be a part of the CHAOSScon event. They are going to be there. So what kind of activity do you think is best for us to have? Are we thinking workshop? Are we thinking panel discussion? Are we thinking a talk session? So talk sessions might seem a bit personal since it's either an individual speaker or two co-speakers, right? But with workshops, it's more engaging with other people, right? Because the whole point is not just to tell them what we are doing at CHAOSScon, but to have more people join our work. So for me, I think workshop might work, either a workshop session or a panel discussion solely on open source and disability. So either of the two. I don't know which one do we think works better, but that's my opinion.
So, in my opinion, I will go. Sorry, once again. In my opinion, I will go with the panel session because when we tried a workshop, so it will be centered around people living with disability. So, people people as in normal people that doesn't have disability will feel like, this is not for me, it's for people with disability. And then in that case we might missing the attention of one of the stakeholders, because all we are advocating is like to include people living with disability in tech space. We feel that they have been left behind, and then uh, not just only people with living with disability will attend the CHAOSS Con. So normal people will also attend. So that's, and then among those in attendance, we might have some active stakeholders who can make impact in this movement. So I believe panel session would be a better idea. Thank you. I yield the mic.
I think I agree with you too on that, because it was either that or workshop. And I agree with the panel because we want to have everybody included in the conversation. I think Winifred agrees as well. So, Vicky, Daniel, what do we think? This is a discussion. We used to have discussions in this meeting. No, we used to have conversation. All of us used to talk. So, who's going
Okay.
first? Daniel. Okay, Vicky.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so I agree with what Winifred and Hamzat and you have suggested. So instead of having someone just speak on a specific topic, it would be better to have to like for the session to be engaging. So either a workshop or a panel session. And like Hamza has pointed out, a workshop might not be very inclusive, because on the one hand, he mentioned that there are people who may not have disabilities who may feel excluded from the conversation. There is that, and there's also if workshops are usually very hands-on, and I'm wondering how feasible it would be to carry along everyone. So some people may not come with their laptops, and even if they have their like devices with them to follow along. I'm trying to imagine how possible it is to that we we have a workshop that both people with disabilities and those who do not have like can follow through on. So the next viable option is the panel session. And I'm agreeing with that, and I'm suggesting we have a mix of now maybe it's too early to decide, but a suggestion would be not like now that I'm thinking of it, maybe not a mix. Maybe we since you're going to do the audit, like an actual like a qualitative a man was it manual yeah a manual audit where we have people with disabilities use the prometheus website to figure out where they're having issues. Maybe the panel session will be them talking about their experience, not just to the auditors now but to a larger audience. So in that way they're creating awareness about the issues that these people face using digital products. And stakeholders, like Hamza mentioned, who are present in the audience will also be aware of these things and find ways to resolve them or try to resolve them. So that's my own opinion.
Great. I agree with you as well. Is it my hand that is up? Oh, I agree with you as well. Hi, Daniel.
Hey,
Do you have anything to add to the conversation?
Yeah. Hi, Toria. I
Hi.
agree with everyone. A panel session will be better. It will be more, the conversation will be more diverse, and you can stretch it to different direction. And like I think Vicky said, so I don't know how is like it's my first time here. I don't know how it's going to look like, but like you mentioned, some people with disability will be joining the community. So I think it would be also be nice to include them in the conversation or in the panel session. Let's hear their experience. Yeah. And if we are going to, I don't know how it's been organized, But like Hamza said, it should not be something that sounds like it's excluding people without disability. It should be something that will carry everybody along and yeah, coming to learn. Yeah, thank you.
Great. So I was supposed to pitch this to the organizing team, the chaos organizing team, because I spoke to Ruth and she was like, a way to pitch this is to join in the community call and talk about it. So I think me being unavailable or busy was a good thing because it gave us an opportunity to run the idea by the team, and then we are in agreement so that next week during the community call I can pitch this and say, okay, the team or the group agreed that the panel discussion will be the best. And then when we pitch it, I think we need more details. So panel discussion, great. We need a topic. What topic do we want our conversation to be? Our next meeting is after the community call. I think we might have to discuss it now so that we have something tangible to give the team, the planning team, right? So what topic are we going to? So we've agreed panel discussion. What topic do we want our panel discussion? How many people do we want in the panel discussion? And what tone do we want the panel discussion to have? So let's start with the topic. What do we want to talk about? I mean, the mic is for everybody. Should we?
Induka, no, let me allow Induka to go first.
Okay. Hi, Vicky. They say we should leave the stage for
Hamza,
you.
why?
We should leave the stage for you. So go on.
Yeah, because I know you are the best at what you do, so you definitely have something
Wow, I
better
love that.
for
It's
our
good to know that
community.
everybody recognizes the good work that you do. I love it.
He's well.
Okay,
Okay.
now continue.
So I have two ideas. I've already mentioned one earlier. That is having them come to talk about their experience using chaos.
Okay.
What issues that the issues that they experience navigating through the chaos website and stuff like that. But besides the website or like contributing to okay, either that, maybe make it specific to chaos or broader to the open source community. What challenges do they have committing to contributing to? Since it's chaos, maybe we should just narrow it down to just chaos. Challenges that they have contributing to the chaos community. From using the website to the tools that chaos uses in meetings and stuff like that. That's one. And second, we could make it like a day in the life of a person. I don't want it to be too long, but like it just came to me. Maybe have them talk about like regular things that most people overlook. Most people who do not have disabilities overlook in their day-to-day interaction with digital products that are pain points or that are challenging for people with disabilities.
Okay. I think I agree with you. The thing is, at some point, we'll have to ask them their experience, right? Because I feel like in this panel discussion, we'll have at least one person who has a disability, right?
Yes.
Maybe one or two people who have different disabilities, maybe a blind user and a deaf user, or a blind user and a user with motor disability, depending, but at least one person who has a disability. And they will talk about their experiences contributing to chaos. So now we don't want it to be a case where we put chaos on the spot, right? Because they're going to be speaking freely their experiences. Nobody's going to tell them to speak, right? So, and we know that we still have a whole lot of work to do, right, with our implementing accessibility in chaos. We're not there yet. So we don't want a case where because I'm sure at some point the session might be recorded or streamed, or I don't know how the team is doing it, but we don't want a case where chaos is laid bare and people start to nitpick.
Yeah, I understand.
So we can just talk about like their experiences, because the people who are going to invite are people who are going to have contributed to chaos at some point. So let's say maybe members of the user testing who are okay with being on the limelight, like having camera in their face or talking in public. Yeah, they talk about their and some ways they have contributed to chaos as people with disability. I think that would be great. Then we also have people who are contributing to chaos who do not have disabilities, but who are working towards improving the accessibility of the chaos project, right? Either in event or in the projects that chaos has. So we can bring a developer or a designer who is either designing or coding for accessibility in chaos, right? Somebody who is implementing accessibility, or someone who is auditing, anybody. Then we'll also bring a general user who is benefiting from accessibility, right? So we are trying to like show cut effect, sort of. So a user who has disability, a contributor who does not have a disability, but who benefits from disability, and someone who is actively trying to implement accessibility. Something like that. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah.
It makes a
So
lot of sense.
yeah. So we can have like maybe 3 people. We don't have then a host. Just 3 people and a host. And I'm thinking maybe we can try chaos projects, contributing to chaos, or accessibility in chaos or something. Yeah, including inclusion in chaos, including accessibility in chaos. I know we'll figure it out at some point. Maybe we'll have to like meet before the end of the week, because community call is next week. So I'll probably be in the group. We'll brainstorm in the Slack channel, right? To pick a perfect for it. Even if you cannot come up with it right now.
Yeah, for me, like the topic is not necessary. We shouldn't like push ourselves to the extreme end to come up with the topic now. So because we have limited time, and then the CHAOSS is far away from today. So what we should focus is like the idea on how the panel sessions can be. Something like, for example, because some of us here are not physically challenged and doesn't have disability, and we are building something for people with disabilities. So we should give them time and hear from them. Okay, what kind of the challenges are they? If you can recall from last year workshop that I hosted, most of their general feedback was they feel they are like ashamed of their challenges, and then sometimes some group set of people like disregard them, like they don't give them fair chance to be into tech, because some of them are physically challenges, some of them are visually impaired, and then some of them have hearing impediment as well. So it's different, it's dynamic set of community, and then you are building something that will carry them all along. So you should carefully think when you are bringing a topic. You might bring a topic that will benefit only people that have visual impediments. Then what about those with physically challenged? Then how about those that have hearing impediment? So it's something that will accommodate like 90%, if not 100, to the majority of the disability community. So in a nutshell, all I'm trying to say, we should continue brainstorming on this selection after this meeting and come up with the topic and the idea of what kind of a thing that will accommodate all the set of people living with disability. I don't know if I'm making sense on it, but This is what I feel based on my own interaction with them.
Yes, yes, you are. You're
Thank
making
you.
sense. We can always brainstorm. So I was just thinking if the idea of bringing three different people who have three different experience in the group chat is accepted rather, we can add it to the idea that we are looking to pitch, right? Because we need to, even while we like try to brainstorm, we need to pitch the idea. So this is the idea we have so far. We can continue to pitch in the group. So we have a person or two persons with disabilities, someone who is working towards improving accessibility. It could be anything, it could be documentation, it could be design, it could be coding, whatever it is. Then we can have someone who just generally contributes and benefits from accessibility implementations, right? So oh, definitely, yes. Accessibility Nigeria will be collaborating with CHAOSS. So there will be sign language interpreters at the event.
Very, very important.
There will be sign language interpreters at the event.
One thing that I understand now is that even you don't have um, people living with disability in attendance at your event, it is very important to have a sign language interpreter
Yes,
if
especially when you're
you are making
streaming.
copy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
even
Mm-hmm.
if you are like even if you are not streaming or you are saving that you are recording it for future reference. So
Yes.
it's a nice idea to have a sign language interpreter.
Yes, there will be. I'm already speaking to Ruth about it. We are supposed to finalize on that as well. And hopefully we extend it to Oscar Fest. So that's the idea. I don't think there's any other thing we have pending, unless we have concerns that we want to talk about. But please let us fill the form, please. Let us edit the minutes and put our names. Hold on, let me so that we know where we are putting our names. Yeah, so let's just put our names. Does anybody have any other thing they would want to talk about?
Yeah, so there was this thing that is bothering me. Say for example, because I'm a man of a disability community here in my community, because my one interaction with them, and then I engage myself in the activities fully. So when the CHAOSS arrives, so are we getting like a kind of support to bring like one of them or two down to Lagos in order to attend the CHAOSS event? I don't know
It
if
will
that's
be
possible.
amazing if we can do that. It would be amazing if we can do that. But then we are also checking for convenience. We are also checking for security. But if we can do that, I think I will speak to Ruth. Of course, like I said, Accessibility Nigeria will try to bring people from Lagos, but I don't know for intra-states.
Oh, oh, that would be fine. That would be fine if
Yeah.
we can have
So what
them
we usually
from
do at
Lagos.
Accessibility
But
Nigeria
what?
is we collaborate with
Okay.
communities that are hosting events, and then we offer like a transportation sponsorship to people with disabilities so that they can be able to attend, and then we provide sign language interpreters as well. So Accessibility Nigeria works with, we are planning on doing that. That's part of the services that we offer, but I don't know for intra-states. So where from, are you trying to move them from another state to Lagos?
Yeah, for CHAOSS event. Uh,
Okay,
not
okay,
not not them. Uh, let's say one person.
okay, one
One person
person.
from yeah, one person will be okay because like how they do their thing here, they categorize the same into cluster. For
Yeah,
example,
yeah, yeah.
those that have a visually impaired related, like those with 75% blindness, totally blind, albinism,
Yeah.
and whatsoever,
Okay.
they are in the same category. Those that are
Yeah.
physically challenged in one category, and then those that have hearing impairment also in another category. So, budget-wise, we know how things are in the world, not just Nigeria. It could not be
Sure.
possible so I think If it is possible, so we can seek for sponsorship for one person that is like super active in the community and have general experience in all the three categories.
Right.
That's
Right. Speaking
that's
of
how I feel about it.
active, speaking of
Mm.
active, we also want people from your community to be part of the user testing. If we can have one or two users who are blind users to join, it would love that. So that when they are coming, they would be coming with open source experience from Chaos as well. I feel like that would
Experience.
make a lot of sense.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I'll
Yes,
reach
I
out
will.
to you about that, and then maybe I can get a few contacts to reach out to them, and they'll be part of the batch. And then for the sponsorship, I will speak to Ruth about it, and I'll also speak to my co-partner in accessibility. Since we are bringing one person, let's see if they can be included in the sponsorship. So we'll just be in communications to know how that's going to work.
That's nice. That's perfect.
Okay. So, is there anything we are missing out?
Not from
I
my own end.
think we've covered everything. So, I think
One more
um,
thing, Toria.
okay,
You
go on.
haven't shared you haven't shared the meeting notes so that we can mark our
Oh,
attendance.
I did, but let me share it again, though. I did before. I think you probably did not
Oh,
see.
well,
Hold on, let me
yeah, I
just.
could. Okay. I think that's the only thing that remains. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. So, before we leave, hi, Danielle. So we're happy to
Yeah.
have you on our team. What part of the work would you be interested in contributing to? I see you're a developer, which is actually really nice. So, would you want to work with the auditing team to make accessibility implementations? Like, is that your field? Is accessibility auditing your field, or what part of what, or would you want to be part of the event planners or something? I mean, we would
Yeah,
want you
so
to be an active member, part of us as well. So,
okay. I was even about asking how do I start? How do I contribute since I'm a new member and what's the process? But
so I guess I'm
thank you
reading your mind. Great.
for reading my mind. Yeah. So I'm a developer and I like to like get to know how I can contribute from the coding aspect. And if there's any other aspects, like currently you only mentioned two aspects, which is the audit part and the event planning part. So if there are other aspects so that might be of interest, yeah. But I'll also be interested in, seeing how the audit works and contributing my own quota.
Okay, great. So the thing now about being part of the auditing is there is no teacher. Yeah, we don't even have a developer in the auditing team. That which is why I would love you to be part of the auditing team. So
Okay.
we do not have a developer here that you can understudy or probably learn from. So everything you're going to be doing, I think, is still going to be part of your develop your developers part or career stuff. You have to like figure it out for yourself. How you already know how to code. So it's basically ensuring that you use the correct HTML semantics, yeah, for coding. So um it's not that easy. You have to actually know how to audit. I think that's where you doing your own personal research comes in. I mean, I think on the repository there are materials you can look at that probably help you to know how to implement accessibility in coding, if you get what I mean. I mean, you already know how to code. It's just how to implement accessibility in the coding. So you can check out the repository. I think it's in the link in our group. Like, it's in the group,
Okay,
the
so in the
Slack
group,
channel.
the
Yeah,
Slack
yeah,
channel.
yeah. I think the
Okay, I'll check.
repository is
I'll check if I have
there.
issues with it. I'll
Yeah.
enter
So
in I'll drop
right
a
now,
message.
what we majorly are trying to do is we are trying to create an environment for people with disability in this community, in this CHAOSS community, right?
Okay.
Because before now, there's no specific community environment that that accommodates them, right? So we are trying to create a specific one that accommodates people with disability, which is why we are trying to create issues that people with disabilities can contribute to, if you get what I mean, with the whole user testing thing and them joining the community events and all of that. So that's where we are at now. So I'm sure there are also other so for a developer, that's majorly where you feature in, implementing accessibility in code, right? But you can also join us in other community work, like maybe you don't do documentation. So for a developer, maybe you want to like switch things you want to do. So I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but yeah.
Just a reminder, I'm also a developer too. And Victoria
Right.
Nduka also look like a developer.
She is, though. She's transitioning into cloud. So she's a developer. So see, we're not like, okay, you actually have developers you can understudy from. So just reach out to Vicky and she will onboard you. Victoria, I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. But yeah. I think that's it. Okay. I think this is where we come to the end of today's meeting.
I'll reach out to Victoria. So
Yeah.
I know how to get
Please
started.
do.
I've tried auditing before. Oh yeah, but majorly we are auditing the CHAOSS website, right? Or tools? What's is it CHAOSS website we're auditing?
Yeah, so the projects they have is the CHAOSS website, the AFOS project, the badging project, but we're starting with the CHAOSS website.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay, that's fine. Glad to be here.
Okay. So thank you everyone for joining in, taking our time from a busy schedule to join our meeting. I'm happy it was very, very productive. We have learned a lot and we have a lot to do. Hopefully before our next meeting, we'll have a lot of feedback to give. So I'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Thank you. And if you've not written your name, please do for documentation purposes. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Good talk, Winifred.